As the sun draws closer to the horizon, it begins to lose its light. The brightness falling over the Stone Age settlement is no longer sharp. It is soft, scattered, and pale. Throughout the day, the exposed soil, stone, and bone quietly absorb this final light. Evening here is not a sudden change. It happens slowly, without being noticed. From a distance, the settlement shows no clear order. The houses are not symmetrical. There are no straight lines. The structures are shaped according to the surrounding land. The direction of the wind, proximity to water, the hardness of the soil. Each shelter has been placed according to these conditions. Not planning, but experience has determined their positions. Most of the shelters are made of stone, mud, and animal hide. The walls are not thick, but they are functional. The goal is not aesthetics, it is protection from the cold, the wind, and the night. The roofs are low, so heat stays inside. Small openings are left for smoke to escape. At sunset, these openings become visible as thin lines of smoke rising into the sky. As evening approaches, movement in the settlement slows. Those who were outside during the day begin to return. Hunters come back with what they have gathered: plants, roots, small animals. There is no great abundance, but there is continuity. If today is enough, then tomorrow can be lived as well. Fires begin to be lit, not in every shelter, but in a few. Fire is central. It must be controlled. Fire is used not only for warmth, but also to divide time. If there is fire, it is evening. If the fire is dying, night is approaching. Even when people do not speak, they are in communication. Who will light the fire? Who will bring water? Who will move inside? These things are not said. They are known. The same movements have been repeated for years, so there is no need to think about them. Children are quieter than during the day. The fatigue of the day is on them. They do not run. They step on the ground less. Their sounds blend into the natural rhythm of the settlement. Evening does not suppress them. It slows them down. The elderly usually remain outside. They watch the final moments of the sun. This is a habit. Seeing the end of the day is like accepting the passage of time. For Stone Age people, time is not abstract. It is measured by light, by sound, shadow, and wind. The wind changes direction at this hour. Its daytime harshness decreases, but it does not stop completely. It moves around the shelters, lightly rippling the hides. The sound of the wind announces the beginning of evening. In the quieting settlement, this sound is heard more clearly. Animals also withdraw. Dogs move closer to the shelters. Other animals become invisible with the darkness. In the Stone Age world, night belongs not to humans, but to nature. Humans know this, and they behave accordingly. As the sky changes color, no one looks up and thinks for long. This view is ordinary. It repeats every day. But being ordinary does not mean it is unimportant. This transition is the rhythm of life. There is no resistance. When the sun disappears completely, the settlement does not surrender to darkness yet. The fires are there. The embers continue to glow. Shadow and light intertwine. People begin to move inside, but night has not yet begun. This is only the closing of the day. Night will come soon. In the deepest hours of the night, the settlement is almost completely motionless. The fire is no longer flame. It is a source of heat collapsed into itself, glowing as red points. It gives warmth but no light. This is the hour when Stone Age humans are most vulnerable, neither fully asleep nor fully awake. Cold settles onto the ground. The air grows heavy. Moisture clings to the stones. Grass begins to stiffen. People do not see this, but their bodies feel it. Furs are pulled tighter, knees draw closer to the stomach. This is not a conscious movement. The body repeats what it has learned over centuries. Dreams intensify at these hours. For Stone Age people, dreams are not games of the mind. They are another plane. Hunting scenes, escapes, rivers, unknown animals. Everything lived during the day returns at night in another form. The rustle of a bush becomes an approaching presence in a dream. The sound of cooling stone turns into a falling rock. These dreams are not meant to be told. In the morning, perhaps a few words are spoken, but most remain inside, because not every dream is shared. Some belong to the individual, some feel like warnings. Learning which is which takes time. Outside, the person keeping watch at the edge of the fire changes position. Sitting too long invites sleep. They take a short walk, circle the settlement. At this hour, ears are more important than eyes. If there is movement, it makes sound first. But not every sound is a threat. Wind, small animals, a distant passing herd. Experience suppresses panic. Stone tools remain in place. Spears, blades, scrapers, all are for the morning. Night is not the time for quick decisions. Night is survival in its simplest form. Notice, avoid, wait. An animal approaches, then stops. The smell of fire is still there. Human scent. There is risk. The animal withdraws. No one in the settlement wakes up. The success of most nights is that nothing happens. In one shelter, an elderly person opens their eyes. Sleep is no longer complete. Time does not flow like a line. Memories come. Old winters, dead people, moved settlements. These are not painful. They are part of existence. The past is carried quietly. The sky begins to change very slowly. There is no light yet, but the darkness thins. The stars appear slightly dimmer. Birds are still silent, but the night is no longer the same. The body senses this. Awakening is approaching. The Stone Age settlement does not know this, does not name it, but it feels it. It always has. Toward the end of the night, silence takes on a different form. It is no longer heavy and pressing. It is looser, beginning to dissolve. Darkness does not retreat, but it makes space. Stone Age people do not explain this, but bodies prepare accordingly. The coals by the fire stir slightly. Someone wakes, stirs the ash with their foot, places a few small branches on top. No large flame is expected. The aim is to keep the heat. Light is still secondary. Eyes are accustomed to darkness. Inside the shelters, people slowly begin to move. No one sits up yet. Only positions change. A shoulder opens, an arm loosens. This state between sleep and wakefulness is the calmest moment of the day. The mind is neither fully closed nor occupied. Outside, the first bird sound is not heard yet. First, silence changes. The wind shifts direction. The smell of the air changes. Humidity rises slightly. The soil prepares to release the coolness it held through the night. These things are not spoken, but they are noticed. Those who will rise early for hunting wake at this hour, quietly, without disturbing anyone. Tools are checked, but not used. Stone tips are examined, handles tested. If everything is in order, they are left alone. The real work begins with daylight. The settlement's children are in deeper sleep. For them, the night has not fully ended yet. Adults know this difference. No one rushes. Time is not pressure. Time is a cycle. The elderly are usually among the first to wake. Sleep is more fragmented for them. They sit near the fire. They do not speak. They only look. At the fire, the sky, the silhouettes of the shelters. This gaze is not empty. It is the silent form of experience. The sun is not yet visible, but its presence is felt. The horizon takes on a very faint gray. Stones hold this light. Hides and furs are still cold, but they will warm soon. The burden of the day has not yet begun. These hours are when the settlement is alone with itself. There is no tension of the hunt, no weight of work. There is only being, survival in its simplest and oldest form. And when the day begins, the night is not talked about, because the night has done its duty. It has harmed no one. That is enough. As the day rises, the rhythm of the settlement fully settles. Everyone is now in their own space. Some work with stone tools, some prepare food, some simply sit and observe. Doing nothing is not a crime. Watching is also a task. Knowing the environment is as valuable as working. For Stone Age people, time is not divided into sections. There is no clear morning, noon, evening. The direction of light, the length of shadows, and the body's fatigue determine time. That is why night and day are not separate. Night is the continuation of day. Day is the preparation for night. Nature near the settlement remains alert. Animals that did not approach during the night keep their distance during the day. There is a silent agreement between humans and nature. Whoever crosses the boundary bears the consequences. These boundaries are not spoken, but they are felt. The elderly usually remain at the edges, but this is not being in the background. They are outside the center because they do not need to be at the center. They are the ones who remember the night best. How many fires went out, which wind changed direction, which sound was familiar. These are not conscious notes, they accumulate. As evening begins to approach, it is not recognized by a clock. The air grows slightly heavier, the light softens. Shadows begin to lengthen again. The day prepares to withdraw. No one says night is coming, but everyone knows. Firewood is gathered again. This is not rushed. There is no excessive preparation for night, but nothing is left lacking. Stone Age life does not like extremes. Excess is burden, lack is risk. Near sunset, the settlement slows once more. The opposite of the morning's unfolding occurs. People draw closer again. Space contracts, distance decreases. Night brings people together, not only for warmth, it is an invisible need. When the sun disappears, there is no sudden darkness. Night seeps in quietly. Colors fade, sounds change. The same birds do not sing. The same insects do not emerge. The world shifts into another language. Stone Age people know this language. Fires are lit again. This time, they are different from daytime. Light is no longer for working, but for being. The area around the fire is the center of the night. Beyond it is uncertain, but not hostile, just unknown. As night deepens, conversation decreases. Words are used sparingly, because sound travels farther at night. But this is not the main reason. Night does not need many words. Everyone knows what is where, and the settlement settles back into the night. This cycle repeats every day, but no night is exactly the same as another. In the Stone Age settlement, night does not end. It only changes form. As the night deepens, the settlement becomes even simpler. Movement decreases, intentions become clear. No one is awake to do anything anymore. Those who remain awake are there only to notice. This is the oldest agreement made with the night. Those sitting by the fire are silent. They stare into the flames for a long time. Fire stops being a tool, it becomes a surface, a place where one sees their own thoughts. Stone Age people do not explain this with words, but they feel it. Looking at fire organizes the mind. Some have already fallen asleep. Sleep is not sudden. First the body loosens, then thoughts slow down. Finally, the surroundings fade. Bodies lying side by side sleep while sensing each other's presence. Sleeping alone is unusual. Solitude is not suitable for the night. Dreams begin. These dreams are neither completely unreal nor individual. The same animal may enter different people's sleep. The same sound may echo in different dreams. This is not considered coincidence. Night brings consciousnesses closer together. A watch is kept outside. This is not done with a duty list. Whoever has lighter sleep, whoever is more resilient. The watch forms naturally. Eyes are accustomed to darkness. Not every shadow is a threat. A threat is unfamiliar movement. Night sounds are distinguished. The difference between a distant branch breaking and a nearby step is known. Sounds carried by the wind are not confused with those made by a living being. This attention comes not from fear, but from habit. If the moon rises, stone structures gain a pale brightness. Walls look harder, paths sharper. If there is no moon, darkness is dense, but not blinding. Human eyes have evolved accordingly. Darkness is not emptiness. It is a low-resolution world. Cold increases. The fire is preserved, but it does not need to be enlarged. Too much light is excess. Night demands a modest balance. Not too warm, not too bright. Some nights feel heavier. The air feels oppressive. Animals are restless. At such times, conversation stops completely. Everyone trusts their instincts. These instincts are the residue of hundreds of nights. Nature outside the settlement continues its own life. Humans are not at the center of this cycle. They are only a part of it. Stone Age people accept this. This acceptance brings peace. There is no concept of hours, but the night has layers. First darkness, middle silence, deep sleep. In each layer, the world slows a little more, and so do humans. And at the quietest moment of the night, the settlement almost disappears. But it does not vanish, because life here continues not with light, but with rhythm. At this point in the night, everything feels almost fixed in place. The only thing moving is time itself, but even it does not hurry. In the Stone Age settlement, night is not a line that moves forward. It is a state that deepens. The fire is now only embers. There is no flame, almost no light. But warmth is still there. This is the instructive side of night. Not everything needs to be seen. Some things are only felt. People know this. That is why the fire is not looked at. It is felt. The breathing of the sleepers has grown heavier. Occasionally one person shifts, another adjusts without awareness. Bodies position themselves relative to each other. This harmony is not conscious. It is the result of long coexistence, the natural state of existing together in the same space, in the same rhythm. Dreams deepen further. Dreams seen at these hours can carry into the morning. They are more likely to be remembered. The gaze of an animal, a dark pool of water, a distant fire. These images are not for interpretation, but for feeling. Not every dream is explained. Some are simply accepted. The watchman outside moves even less now. They plant their feet firmly, balance their weight. Standing in the same spot for a long time tires not the body, but the mind. The way to deal with this fatigue is not to think. Eyes remain open, the mind stays simple. As the night progresses, surrounding sounds become clearer. A distant owl call, a slight movement from within the soil. These do not distract. On the contrary, they confirm the order of the night. Each sound reminds that the world is still in place. Some nights fog settles. When fog comes, the settlement shrinks. The field of vision narrows. But this is not a threat. Fog softens boundaries. What is near feels nearer. What is far temporarily disappears. People accept this. For Stone Age people, the unknown is not new. Living with the unknown is a learned skill. At night, this skill becomes more visible. There is no fear, there is attention. No panic, there is preparation. The cold does not reach the bones, because people are not alone. They are in contact with earth, stone, fire, and each other. This contact is not only physical. Over time, it becomes a mental bond. The settlement is much more than individual people, and at the most motionless moment of the night, everything is as it should be, neither lacking nor excessive, just existing. And this state of existence is quietly preserved until morning. As the end of the night approaches, the texture of time changes. The night no longer deepens. It begins to slowly dissolve. There is no morning yet, but the hardness of the night has softened. In the Stone Age settlement, this moment is noticed. No one checks the time, no one names it. But bodies know. There are still warm spots among the ashes of the fire. Someone notices this and, half awake, reaches out and gently places a small branch on the embers. No flame appears, only a faint redness. This is enough. The goal is not light, but continuity. Some of the sleepers begin to surface from their dreams. Eyes do not fully open. Consciousness hangs between sleep and wakefulness. This interval is thought in its rawest form. There is no plan, no anxiety, only the feeling of being. For those keeping watch outside, these are the hardest hours, because not danger, but relief arrives. A mind that has stayed alert all night wants to relax, but they do not allow it. This resistance is learned discipline. The safety of the settlement comes before individual fatigue. The sky slowly changes. The stars are still there, but the darkness is not the same. Black moves toward gray. The horizon blurs. This is not the sign of morning, but of the night's dissolution. Animals notice this first. Some stir, some lift their heads. There is no sound yet, but there is movement. Nature prepares itself for a new cycle. For Stone Age people, morning is not a beginning, it is a continuation. There is no sharp line between night and day. One does not end as the other begins. They blend into each other. That is why there is no rush. The settlement is still quiet, but this silence is no longer heavy. It is lighter. Stones, soil, and shelters seem as if they are breathing a little more. And at this exact moment, the night completes its task. No one applauds. No one says they noticed. But everyone, somewhere deep inside, knows the night has passed. Life will continue from where it left off, with the same calm.